Welcome to Thriving Thursday. Today we're going to talk about sort of the integrated process of getting an audience, building all of this. I titled this Money Can't Buy You Love because one of the things that happens is that people just want to run ads. And ads aren't the only way to go. Not only are they not the only way to go, but unless you really know what you're doing with the ads, it can get really expensive and not get a lot of really positive results. I can tell you, I've hired a couple people to run ads, and sometimes the experience has been okay. It's never been fabulous, but at times it's been okay. There have been times I've just wasted. I've completely thrown my money out the door. Because you have to remember, when you hire someone who really knows what they're doing, you're not only paying for your ad spend, but you're paying for their expertise, which usually means that there's a monthly fee attached to that. And my experience has been that it is sometimes more than your ad spend. So it's a really tough process. And unless you have a very, very well built out funnel, you're probably not going to get a lot of conversion. If you're not an expert at ads, you're probably not an expert at conversion either. So we're going to talk about that. More testimonials and showing, less telling. So let's build each other's credibility. That's really what this is all about. So I talked about ad money. Ad money, people are under the impression that if I run an ad, people will click, they'll come into my audience, it'll be a done deal and sold. Think about it for a minute. Do you ever just go out and buy a big product, or do you need to know more about it? Do you need to do more research? Do you need to feel like you trust those people? Do you need some more nurturing? And that's what people forget when they run ads, is if they have a smaller product like $50, a lot of times people will just click. But if you have a more expensive product or service, people really want to know what's going on with that. They want to know that you're going to deliver. They want to know that you're who you say you are. So many things happen online. So you have to remember that ad money is only one avenue. And I actually highly recommend that you don't use ad money unless you already have an audience that you're nurturing. Or if you do, don't have really high expectations that it's going to create sales right away. To give you an example of this is one of the things in the webinar world I hear all the time. Yeah, I ran ads, I did everything I was supposed to do with a webinar, and then I wasn't able to sell at the end. And so their first inclination is, did I do the webinar right? Do I need sales training? And all of a sudden they're figuring out this path that is thousands and thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, on how to get that better. And in reality, all they really needed was to learn how to nurture, to online listen. So keep that in mind before you go out and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on coaches. Figure out what it is that you really need. Using case studies and testimonials. This will really kind of supercharge everything you're doing as well. One of the things that I see a lot is, Andrea K, and there'll be a testimonial, but there'll be no picture, there'll be no video. What people are looking for are real live people using your solutions and getting positive results. So anytime you can get a case study on video, and what that might look like is something like, before I began using XYZ, my life was like this, or if it's a product, my skin looked like this. During the process, it was very comfortable. I did a lot of work, and then the end result. So that's what you really want on video. Don't use non-video and then just a name and an initial. People inherently know that that's not trustworthy and it's fake. Have people on there that they can actually go and look up and see that they are real people. That's very, very important. I'll share a little story about a company that I quit a very long time ago, probably 7-8 years ago. I started working for an educational company. And one of my first tasks was to go in and look at their marketing. And I went to their testimonials and I said, why don't we have pictures here? And I got really vague answers. And then I'm like, why don't we have real names here? And they gave me a lot of kind of what I would call BS about, oh, they don't want people to know that their kids need tutoring. Well, my kids have been tutored. There's no shame in that. Everybody needs a little help sometimes. And so when I really got down, I kept going back and back and back to them every single day. Like, let's get some new ones up. Let's get some names. Let's get some permission. Let's get some pictures. And what came out in the wash after about 2 weeks was that they made them up. And when they told me that, I quit, because I wasn't going to be a part of a company that didn't have real people who had used their solutions. Lastly, I'm going to talk about, let's spread the word organically. More showing who you are and how fabulous you are, and less telling how fabulous you are. I've mentioned this several times. One of the things I always see in the real estate world is, I've been in business for the last 50 years. So, use me. I'm fabulous. I'm great. When I think about that from a real estate perspective, just because you've been in business for the last 50 years doesn't mean that you've been full-time. It doesn't mean that you've sold a lot of houses a year. It doesn't mean any of the things you're implying. It can, but it's really not about how good you are. It's about the results you get for people. So again, the testimonials and spreading the word organically. One of my friends is a follow-up coach and tells me that 34%, I believe it's 34% of business should be from referrals. If you're doing a really good job, you should get a full third of your business from referrals. And that means that you're showing people that you do a really good job, and they're telling. You're not telling. So that's how you really spread the word organically. And it's free. Think about that. If other people are spreading the word, if the testimonials you're using are spreading the word, that's free. You don't have to go out and run ads around that. Or you can actually run the ads with the testimonial in a very targeted way. So just remember, these are tips that can help you. If you're not fully building out your funnel, you're definitely leaking clients and revenue. And that's not what we want to hear in a business. All right, see you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.